Hello, my students. How are you? Okay, remind that the last week we were checking this topic that is conditionals. Okay, and we studied zero conditional and first conditional. Right now, we are going to check the second and the third one. Okay, so let's go straight to point. So, look, the second conditional. I can use the second conditional to express impossible things in the present or unlikely things in the future. Okay, so let's see. In the grammar, I have remind if clause, main clause. In the if clause, I have the past simple, and in the main clause, I use would and the verb. Sometimes I can use could or might, okay, but the usual one is would. Okay, so let's see this example. If I were an astronaut, I would travel in a spaceship. Okay, take this into account because this is important. When I am using the verb to be in past, I say I was in the restaurant, I was in the supermarket, I was doing exercise. Okay, but if I am using this verb to be in a conditional sentence, I use were, if I were. Okay? If I were. If I were, super important for you to take this into account. Okay, so if I were an astronaut, I would travel in a spaceship. Okay? Okay, one more time the same example. If I were an astronaut, I would travel in a spaceship. Another one. If I traveled in a spaceship, I would go to Mars. If I went to Mars, I would meet a Martian. Okay, can you see that in the previous one I said I would go to Mars? Okay, but right now the condition is this one. If I went, changes to past, to Mars, I would meet a Martian. If I met, it changed to past. If I met a Martian, I wouldn't understand him. Okay, and if I didn't understand him, I would come back to the earth. Okay, now very good. We can continue right now with the third conditional. Let's see. We use the third conditional to talk about things that didn't happen in the past and their imaginary results. Okay, yes, it is very commonly used with regrets. Okay, because there are things that you did in certain way but you cannot change, but you imagine, okay, if I did this in a different way, if I had done this in a different way, something different would have happened. Okay, so in grammar the if clause uses the past perfect tense and the main clause uses would and present perfect. Okay, present perfect, have, and the verb in participle is the present perfect. Sometimes I can use could or might, but the usual one is would. Okay, would and present perfect. So for example, if I had studied hard, okay, had the auxiliary verb for the past perfect and studied in participle form, if I had studied hard, I would have passed my exams. Okay, I would have passed my exams. So imaginary situation, things that cannot be real because already happened, but I imagine in a different way, and the possible result. Okay, the possible imaginary result. So let's see some examples. If you had studied hard, you wouldn't have failed your exam. Okay, that is an angry teacher. If you had passed your exam, you could have gone to the beach. If I had gone to the beach, I would have made sand castles. Okay, so that was a nice, sad situation, sorry. Um, so look, right now, what are you going to do? Taking into account the grammar structures that we have already seen, you're going to complete these sentences. Okay, let me move this. So you're going to complete these sentences, yes, using the grammar tenses from the second conditional and also in the third conditional. Okay, so second conditional, these 5 exercises, and third conditional, these 5 exercises too. Okay, so please let me know if it was difficult or easy, and share your answers with me. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video, and see you next week. Goodbye.